And today I'm going to show you a card that I made with the So Refreshing stamp set bundle from Stampin' Up. It's from their new annual catalog, and it just went live for ordering on, gosh, when was it? On the 2nd of May, so just about a week ago today. So this is it. So it's a little birthday card that oh goodness, I'm looking at the screen and I'm all kinds of crazily crooked on here. So hopefully I straightened it out some. So it's a little birthday card that I used one of my favorite new colors on, and it is lots and lots of lemon lolly. And there's a little bit of Azure Afternoon and a little bit of lemon lime twist, which is also another of my favorite colors. And a little tiny bit of Flirty Flamingo, which is another favorite color of mine. So that's the card we're making today. So hey, Karen and Mary Kay, thanks for hopping in. So this is the stamp set, and it is again called So Refreshing. Hey, Vicky, thanks for joining from Arizona. And it's got lots of cute little images, obviously lemons and lemonade if you want it to be, or it can be whatever you want to fill the picture with. I saw somebody do like a pink lemonade type color with it, so that, might be something fun to try as well. And it's got some good sentiments in it. Love the font in these, and it's one of those two-step stamping set, so it's designed to, like, this flower fits on top of this flower that fits on top of the stem. The little glass pieces, you can stamp one over the top of the other. Same thing with a picture. The lemons or limes, I guess they could be, and the leaves also are all two-step stamping. And it's pretty easy set, photopolymer, so you can see through and pretty well see where you're stamping at. Of course, I say that before I start stamping. So, hey, Carol and Joanne. That is my favorite color of yellow ever. I think I love it. So, and then I see Mama Roo. I'm not sure who that is, but thanks for hopping in from Nebraska. Thanks for joining. This is the So Refreshing dies, and they coordinate with some of them coordinate with the stamped images. So they're the larger ones that are open in the middle. We'll cut out like the lemons and the leaves and the larger branch image with the flowers on it, the picture, the two glasses. And then this one I actually used on my card, and it looks like sort of like a tablecloth when you cut it out. And then, hey, Drew, thanks for joining, and Judy as well. This one looks like little ice cubes, and those are really cute. And then this is a little set of strawberries, and then the little strawberry caps or tops or whatever you want to call them. So that'd be really cute to make strawberry lemonade. And then we've got a little set of leaves, another set of leaves, and I haven't quite figured out what that one is yet. I should have probably played with it to see what it cuts, but I'll be interested to see. Maybe someone else has already played with it and knows what it does. But anyway, so that's it. So this is the die set. Again, it's called So Refreshing, and it's from Stampin' Up from their new catalog. So let me set that aside and grab a couple of other things that I used here. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but the background I actually did maybe a blanket for a picnic. Definitely, yep, could be either one. So hey, Gina Marie, thanks for hopping in, and Gigi as well. And Lynn is here, and Connie and Jerry. So I missed a whole bunch of people. Thanks for hopping in today. So I used the Countryside Blooms embossing folder, and I don't know, like I said, hopefully you can see it. This one is currently on back order. I can't remember when it's due back in stock, but I know it will be returning, so keep an eye out for that one. And then I used the Deckled Rectangles dies. I actually used the third from the largest one to cut the background designer series paper. And then I used the large circle die from the All That dies to cut the sentiment. So that is what I used to create this card. All right. One thing quickly before we get going. Obviously, the new catalog is live for ordering, but don't forget to go take a peek at the online exclusives in the Stampin' Up! Online store. As the name implies, they are only items that are found in the online store because they're online exclusives. So go take a peek out there. Some of the items, the radiating stitches, I'm sorry. Radiating stitches thing is a die set, and of course they don't have a picture of it on here. That is one of the die sets that's been out of stock for a minute, but it just got restocked yesterday. So if you are interested in that, go grab it, because items in the online exclusives are only available while supplies last. And we don't really know how long the supplies are going to last. So if you love those dies as much as I do, go grab them. So, hey, Tina, thanks for hopping in and happy Tuesday to you as well. All right, so I have got a lemon lolly card base. This one is cut to 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4.25 in the middle. Hey, Deborah and Danette, thanks for joining. Have trouble finding the online items? If you go to the just go to stampinup.com, which is a Stampin' Up! Store, and then on the menu, I'm going because I can do it from visual, but trying to explain it. On the left-hand side, there's a menu over there. And if you click on that, one of the tabs underneath there says online exclusives. And if you click on that, it goes right to it. Or you can go to my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com. And they're also linked up in the blog post, down kind of near the bottom of the blog post. So, but there's a direct link to the online exclusives as well. So I'm taking Stampin' Seal and I'm putting it on the front of the Lemon Lolly card base. Ooh, that was kind of a crazy driving. Not quite straight. And I went ahead of time and embossed a panel of Lemon Lolly cardstock, although I'm trying to get it so that hopefully you can see it, with the, there you go, with the Countryside Blooms embossing folder. This panel is cut to about 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to stick it right on the card front here with the Stampin' Seal that I've added to it. I put the Stampin' Seal on the card base rather than on the back of the embossing in hopes that I don't smash it too badly when I stick it to the card front. Sometimes I get a little heavy-handed with my adhesive and smoosh the embossing, so I usually try to put it on the flat piece if I can. So glad it's not just me. So I love Lemon Lolly, my favorite. So hey, Judith, thanks for hopping in. Next up, I have got a piece of the beautiful Bright and Beautiful, sorry, I got it backwards, Bright and Beautiful 6x6 Designer Series paper pack. It's actually the one that is with the birthday balloons way up in the front of the catalog, but it's got Lemon Lolly in it, so I stole a piece of that and cut it with the one of the deckled rectangles. Again, it was the third from the largest of the deckled rectangles dies, and I'm just going to adhere it to a piece of basic white cardstock, and the basic white cardstock measures about 3 1/8 inches by about 4 1/2 inches. And again, just sticking it together with a little Stampin' Seal. And it doesn't, definitely with this die, you don't have to get it perfectly centered because it kind of cuts it all crazy and crookedy on the sides, which is kind of nice, and you don't have to worry so much about everything being straight. All right, I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals and adhere this to the card front. Yeah, see, Lemon Lolly. I know that there were some people who were like, oh my gosh, it's a fluorescent yellow and it's, and yeah, you just got to play with it. It's a good yellow, a really good yellow. It's like a true yellow, not a dirty yellow, not, you know, it's just yellow, and I love it. So, hey, Cindy, thanks for hopping in from Pennsylvania, and it is a cute little stamp set, that is for sure. All right, so peeling off the backing, and these are my half Stampin' Dimensionals. I do cut mine in half, and I often get questioned as to why I do that and why I don't just use the minis, and I don't know, I like the size of these better. The minis, to me, are too small. The full-size ones are too big, so I cut them in half, and then that's perfect size. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so this is actually some of the white center 12 by 12 specialty paper, and it is an Azure Afternoon. There are 5 different colors in that pack, and I guess it's Azure Afternoon, Lemon Lime Twist, Night of Navy, Berry Burst, and Fresh Freesia in there. And I cut it with that little tablecloth or picnic basket die, and I don't know how well it shows up on the screen, but this paper has kind of a texture to it, which I liked, and it made it look a little bit more like fabric. And then it also embosses a little bit when you cut it with that die. So it is like the 3 Little Bears. See, it's so it's got to be just perfect, or I'm crabby. So there. All right, the little Stampin' Seal on the back of that, and I'm just going to adhere this to the card front. And it's going to overhang just a little bit, and that is just fine as long as it doesn't overhang off the edges of the card base. Then you're just fine. All right, now let's get to some stamping. So this is the fun part. Got some basic white cardstock here, and just trying to decide, I think I'm going to start with the picture first, and I'm going to do Azure Afternoon for that. And just going to ink up the picture image, and I will stamp it here on some basic white cardstock. And set that one aside, and then I've got the little glass image. Again, this is the outline image for these. There's also a fill-in image for the glass. Ooh, I did not stamp that very nicely. Smudged it a little there on the edge. That's a better image. All right, and what else? And then I've got the happy birthday sentiment that I'm also going to go ahead and get that one stamped while I'm at it, since I've got my Azure Afternoon open and out. And I did do one of the glasses ahead of time, so, you know, again, because it's a repeat process, I figured you probably didn't need to see that over and over again. All right, so I've got Lemon Lolly next, and I'm going to ink up the fill-in image for the picture in Lemon Lolly ink. and I'm going to try to stamp it on here straight and where it should be. And again, it's easier when I don't have a camera in between me and what I'm stamping, but hopefully we'll get it close enough. And then I've got the little fill-in image for the glass. Again, same thing, just going to try to line it up as best I can. There we go. And then I need to do, actually, I'm going to close this one up and grab my Daffodil Delight and do a little stamping with that first, and then I'll bring the Lemon Lolly back. So, hey, Sarah, thanks for hopping in, and I appreciate that. I'm glad you're liking it, Kathy. So this is Daffodil Delight. So again, it's a little bit of a darker yellow, and I'm going to stamp the outline image from the lemons in that, and then I'm going to go and stamp, this is the little lemon slice. And again, these are all from the So Refreshing stamp set. I'm just going to stamp the little lemon slices here so that they look like they're kind of inside the picture, you know, trying to make it look like authentic lemonade, I guess. All right, I'll close that up. Oh, and I just stuck my thumb in it. I don't know how I do that all the time. I get my fingers in more ink. And then I'm going to come back to the Lemon Lolly and grab the little fill-in solid lemon images. Oop, I almost did that completely upside down. That would not have been good. Stamp them over the top of the lined image. And then I'm going to stamp some leaves here in Lemon Lime Twist ink. And this is the outline. Did I forget to put the... I'm going to have to grab an image out of my stamp set because I forgot to put the little leaves, the fill-in leaves, on a block. Yeah. I try to be prepared. Oh, there they are. Yep, still sitting here inside the stamp case. All right, I'm going to put these on the edge of the block so that hopefully I can see kind of where I'm stamping them. All right, and then these are the fill-in images for the leaves. I ink them in Lemon Lime Twist ink, stamp them on the scrap paper, and then I'm going to stamp them over the top of my lined images. There we go. And then the last image that I need to stamp is the flower image. And I've got a long piece of paper here. I didn't know if I'd run out of room, and I did run out of room. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp the branches first. Stems stems and leaves first. Again, that's Lemon Lime Twist ink. And then I'm going to grab my floral image, and I've got Flirty Flamingo ink. This one was definitely for me the most challenging one to get lined up because there are 3 images actually involved in this one. So you've got not only the greenery image, but you have 2 floral images that you're also trying to line up and not stamp all sorts of crazy. And I think I'll just take a deep breath and think that we got it. I think I got it mostly on. We'll take a look at it when I go to die cut it, and if it totally cuts off the edge, we may have to flip it back over and try it again. And then here is the more solid of the flower images, and I'm going to stamp that on scrap paper here, and then just stamp it over the top of the lined image. There we go. All right, now we get to die cut all these little things. And let me grab the die set, and like I said, let me see how badly I stamped this one compared to the way the die is going to fit on it. And I think it actually is not going to be too terrible. I think we're going to be able to do that. So we will call it good. See what it looks like when it cuts, although I don't know, maybe we'll try it. And if it cuts terrible, then I'll grab another piece of paper and we'll do it again. So with this one, I am definitely going to be using some of the Post-it note tape to hold my stamped images, or hold my dies over the stamped images, because there are a lot of dies in this, and lots of room for things to slide around and not cut the way I want them to. So let me set that one over on my die cutting plate here. All right, I think I'm going to call that good. It's not perfect, but yeah, I stamped it a little bit crooked. I should have slid the flowers over just a hair more, but I think it's good enough that we're going to leave it for now. And then I'm going to grab my next couple of images here and get those stuck down with a Post-it note tape. So Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do it really precisely. Like I said, it's not as difficult to do when you don't have a camera in between you and what you're stamping. I don't know why that kind of distorts the way I see things, but it does. It's just, it adds like another layer of challenge to it. So I don't know, I guess. So, but it's not, like I said, it's not terrible. So I think we'll go with it. So I'm going to place those and then grab a couple more here, pieces of the Post-it note tape here, some littler ones. Stick these down. I'm trying not to stick them over the top of the stamped image because sometimes when it runs through the die cutting machine, the Post-it note tape will kind of get stuck really well to the image, and then you end up ripping it, which is always sad, so I never want that to happen. So I usually try to stick it off to the side when I'm using it. And then I've got my little leaves here. I'm going to tape those down. There we go. And then, where's my other die set? Here we go. And then I'm going to grab the final die here, and we're going to try to run these through all in one swing. That is from the All That dies, and I'm going to be cutting the sentiment out with that. Come on, fingers. There we go. And that should hold it well enough. Just need a little piece. All right, let me try to carefully lift this, and I'm going to take it and run it through my die cutting machine, so I'll be off screen for just 1 second. And if everything went through smoothly, then we should be good to go on all the little die cuts. We'll be done with the difficult part of it. Set those aside here and get my die set out of the way. I definitely better set the die cut or the dies on top of my die sheet so I don't lose track of those. And yes, I do use my cutting plates way longer than I should, and they always look like the dog has chewed on them. So that's one reason why I don't show you everything behind the scenes, because yeah, my cutting plates look terrible. So, all right, back to my card front. Ugh, come on, pieces. All right. Gonna grab some glue dots and start sticking the card front together. So I'm gonna start with the picture on the background, since that's the larger one and kind of anchors everything. So I need to know where that one's gonna land before I can add everything else to it. I'm gonna take that and we'll put it kind of over here near the edge, and hopefully straight, or kind of straight. There we go. And then I'm going to add a couple the little drinks in here. So your plates look just like that. Okay, then I don't have to be too embarrassed, because I'm not the only one who does that. And it's usually just the bottom plate that looks like that for me. The top plate, I try to keep it a little bit nicer looking so that it doesn't leave marks on the top of the die cuts, but the bottom plate that I use always looks like the dog has chewed on it, or it's been run over by a car, or something really bad has happened to it. So, all right, I'm gonna stick on the two little glasses there, again, just using little glue dots to do this. So, missed the name of the embossing folder. That is the Countryside Blooms embossing folder, and it is actually in, there's a Countryside Corners die set. It's kind of in the middle of the catalog, and then there's a designer series paper pack that coordinates with it. It's, you know, you don't have to get it all together, but you can. There's a whole suite of stuff that goes with it. So yeah, you can go take a peek at it there. So use your plates until they, okay. Again, so it's not just me that does that. I sort of think I was really strange, because most people that I see that do videos have like their plates look fantastic, and mine, I'm like, wait until they split along the edges before I finally throw them away. I don't know. I guess, again, I just look at it and I go, why would I waste money on cutting plates when I don't need them? These work fine. So, all right, got a couple of the little leaves here. So, mark the bottom plate with a W on it. Oh, good. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know, I just always have the yucky one on the bottom and then the nice one on the top. And then, whoop, I'm gonna slide this over just a little bit. Tuck in the leaves in here again with just some mini glue dots. And it doesn't matter, you can probably see a little bit of the glue dot under that, but I know it's gonna go underneath the lemon, so it doesn't matter. So don't show the plates because they look just as bad. Okay, so I'm glad it's not just me, Karen, because like I said, I know some people replace theirs, like, you know, they get, I swear, just 10 cuts on them, and then they're like, oh, it's time for new plates. And I'm like, those still look brand new to me. I don't know. So, All right, I'm going to stick on my sentiment here with a couple Stampin' dimensionals as well. Just going to put it kind of over the top. And I'm trying to keep the dimensionals a little bit towards the center on this one as I put them down, just because the sentiment is going to hang off the edge here a little bit, and so I don't want it to end up sticking strangely to the card front. So I want to make sure that the dimensionals are in a spot where they're going to stick to the top layer and not to the bottom layer when I put it together. And then the last piece that I used on the card front are these adhesive back solid gems. And these, again, they're available separately, but you can also find them in the Cheerful Daisies Sweet collection. They coordinate with that paper, but they have lemon lolly in it, and it's my favorite color, so I've just decided to use them because I love them. And they're sparkly, and yeah, so there you go. Just putting a couple of the little gems on here, and I didn't grab my take your pick tool, so I'll just use my snips to flip it over because I turned one upside down. There we go. And that is it for the card front. The inside of the card I kept pretty simple and just stamped the little lemon image down here in the corner. So let me grab my ink pads again, if I can find them in my huge mess. I've got so many little, whoop, wrong lemon. So many little stamps all over the place that I'm having a hard time finding what I need. So, all right, we will stamp the two little double lemons. Again, that was Daffodil Delight that I used to stamp the outline image, and then I'm going to be using my Lemon Lolly to stamp the fill-in image. Hey, Melly, thanks for hopping in and saying hello, and glad you're liking the card. So, like I said, it's a really cute little set, and definitely I'll be playing with it some more. Perfect for summer and spring and, well, I don't know, anytime. So, all right, I'm going to close that one up and then grab my Lemon Lime Twist and stamp the leaves on here, and we'll be all done with card for today. So, all right, and again, you know, these don't, you can just stamp them however you like them to look. I just kind of stuck them so that it looked like they were sticking out the end of my lemons. Whether they're supposed to be that way or not, I don't know. So then I'm going to stamp over the top. Again, stamped it on my scrap paper once to lighten up the color a little bit, and then stamped it over the top to fill it in. So yeah, Lemon Lolly is, like I said, it's one of my favorite colors, and I have to stop myself from using it all the time between that and Bubble Bath. I just keep grabbing those two constantly, and then I make myself put it back and say, no, we don't need another yellow card. So, all right, gonna grab a little Stampin' Seal and adhere the stamped image to the inside of the card. There we go. Close it up and do a quick run across with the bone folder to give it a good solid crease. And that's it. So super easy. And like I said, it's a pretty easy little stamp set to use, other than my goof and I didn't stamp it perfectly. It's pretty easy. And like I said, if you're right over the top of it, it makes it a lot easier. I'm kind of trying to do it off to the side and in between the camera and me, so it's a little more challenging. But other than that, it's a really easy set to stamp with, so don't be afraid of it. Like I said, it's see-through, super easy, and it's really cute. So another good one for summer, for spring, for really any time. I think you should get it. So, all right. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I will be posting the details for this card on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. And I will link up directly to the blog post as soon as it goes live around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So all the measurements and everything will be there. Links to all the products that I used will also be there. And feel free to stop over and take a peek at the other pictures and let me know if you have any questions. I will plan to be back around 2 o'clock Eastern time on Friday with another card project. And then I take off for the Stampin' Up! Trip on the 16th. So I will actually not be doing lives for a couple weeks. I think the first one I'll be back is going to be the 29th, I think, of May is the next time I'll be back. So I'll be here Friday and then be about 2 weeks of not seeing you, and then I'll be back. So thanks again, everybody, for joining today. Sorry about banging into the camera here at the end. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and we will chat with you all soon.